Guardians of the Northern Sea, the untold saga of the Atlantic puffin. High above the roaring surf and jagged cliffs of the North Atlantic, where icy winds carve through the mist and the sea never truly sleeps, a small, brightly colored bird reigns as one of nature's most unlikely champions, the Atlantic puffin. With their clownish beaks and waddling walk, they might seem like comic relief in a harsh world, but behind their whimsical faces lies a saga of courage, devotion, and resilience that has unfolded for millennia. A life between sky and sea. The Atlantic puffin, Turcula arctica, is often called the sea parrot or the clown of the ocean, and for good reason. Its brilliant orange beak and matching feet shine like fire against the blue-gray Atlantic, especially during breeding season when the colors are at their brightest. But this vivid appearance is only temporary. Once the season ends, the puffin's beak fades to a dull gray, an extraordinary adaptation that reduces its visibility to predators during winter months. Puffins are compact yet powerful flyers, flapping their wings up to 400 beats per minute to stay aloft. In the air, they can reach speeds of 88 kilometers per hour, 55 miles per hour, and beneath the waves, they transform into underwater torpedoes, flying through the sea with their wings to pursue schools of fish like sand eels, herring, and capelin. They can dive more than 60 meters, 200 feet, deep and stay submerged for up to a minute. Remarkable feats for a bird that weighs barely half a kilogram. The return of the flock. Every spring, after months spent alone at sea, often hundreds of kilometers from land, puffins return to the same coastal cliffs and islands where they were born. These remote colonies stretch from Maine and Newfoundland to Iceland, Norway, Scotland, and the Faroe Islands, transforming into bustling, noisy cities of feathers and flight. Here, pairs that have been apart all winter find each other again among tens of thousands of birds. They reunite with tender gestures, rubbing their beaks together in a ritual known as billing, a behavior both affectionate and symbolic of their lifelong bond. Puffins are known for their monogamous relationships, staying with the same partner year after year, often returning to the exact same burrow they dug seasons before. The builders and the caretakers. Once reunited, puffins set to work constructing their homes. Using their beaks as shovels and their feet as spades, they dig tunnels up to a meter deep into grassy cliff edges. At the end of each tunnel lies a small chamber lined with feathers and grass, the nursery for a single egg. Both parents share incubation duties for about 6 weeks, taking turns to hunt while the other keeps the egg warm. When the chick hatches, a tiny, fuzzy ball known as a puffling, the real work begins. Each day, the parents embark on dozens of fishing trips, sometimes traveling miles offshore. Thanks to a clever adaptation involving spines on the roof of their mouths and a rough tongue, puffins can hold up to a dozen small fish at once without dropping them, bringing back entire mouthfuls for their hungry chick. A leap of faith. As summer wanes and the northern days grow shorter, the pufflings face their first great test. Under the cover of darkness, they leave the safety of their burrows and stumble toward the sound of the waves. Guided only by moonlight and instinct, they leap from the cliffs into the sea, beginning a perilous journey that will determine whether they survive to adulthood. Not all make it. Some are caught by predators such as great black-backed gulls, skuas, or even Arctic foxes. Others become disoriented by artificial lights and wander inland instead of out to sea. In places like Iceland's Vestmannaeyjar Islands, locals take part in a century-old tradition called puffling patrols, rescuing these lost fledglings and releasing them back to the ocean. A heartwarming example of coexistence between humans and wildlife. The Ocean Odyssey. After leaving land, puffins vanish into the open sea for nearly 8 months. During this time, they molt their flight feathers and become temporarily flightless, relying entirely on their swimming abilities to find food and avoid danger. Satellite tracking has revealed that puffins travel astonishing distances, some migrating thousands of kilometers across the North Atlantic, from the coast of Norway to the icy waters near Greenland. Life at sea is unforgiving. Puffins must navigate violent storms, freezing temperatures, and a constant battle for food. Yet, they are perfectly designed for the task. Their waterproof feathers trap a layer of insulating air, and their compact bodies allow them to dive efficiently, even in raging seas. Threats beneath the waves. But even these masters of adaptation face growing threats. Climate change is warming the oceans, pushing their favorite prey fish into deeper, colder waters beyond their reach. In some colonies, chick survival rates have dropped sharply due to food shortages. Overfishing further depletes the puffins' food sources, while plastic pollution and oil spills poison the very waters they depend on. On land, the introduction of invasive species like rats, cats, and mink devastates nesting colonies, consuming eggs and chicks. In certain regions, entire puffin populations have vanished, silent reminders of how fragile their world has become. Hope on the cliffs. Yet, amid the challenges, hope persists. Conservationists across the North Atlantic are fighting back. On Scomer Island in Wales, puffin populations are rebounding thanks to protected breeding areas and strict fishing limits. In Iceland, community-led programs educate tourists about responsible wildlife viewing, reducing disturbances during the nesting season. In Maine, the reintroduction project known as Project Puffin has restored breeding colonies that had vanished for a century. Scientists are also using cutting-edge technology, from GPS tags to drone mapping, to track puffin movements and better understand how they adapt to changing environments. Rehabilitation centers rescue injured puffins, while volunteers clean beaches and monitor nests to ensure that the next generation can thrive. The circle continues. As dawn breaks over the Atlantic, the cliffs come alive once again with the flutter of wings and the chorus of returning birds. Generations rise and fall, yet the cycle endures. Each puffin that soars above the cold waves is a living testament to persistence, proof that even in an age of uncertainty, life continues to fight for its place on this planet. The story of the Atlantic puffin is not merely one of survival. It is a reflection of nature's resilience, the strength of partnership, and the delicate balance that sustains our oceans. They remind us that beauty can thrive in the most unforgiving corners of the earth, and that even the smallest creatures can carry the weight of an entire ecosystem upon their wings. So when the sun dips behind the horizon and the sea glows gold beneath the northern sky, somewhere, a puffin dives, wings slicing through salt and shadow, carrying with it a message older than time, that life, no matter how fragile, always finds a way to rise again. Sparkles.